Kenya's bid to borrow from investors overseas has been 7 years coming. But now the government has added into its coffers 174 billion shillings through the proceeds of the country's maiden Eurobond. Investors have actually offered to lend the government 700 billion shillings, almost 5 times more than the amount that the government was targeting.
Our economy remains resilient, growth remains satisfactory, and indeed the outlook is bright.
The Eurobond was issued in 2 parts. The first component amounts to 43.7 billion shillings that will be repaid over the next 5 years at an interest rate of close to 5.9%. The second one, which amounts to about 131 billion shillings, will be repaid over 10 years and attract an interest rate of close to 6.9%.
$1.5 billion due in 2024, priced at an interest rate of 6.875%. Indeed, very competitive rates that we were able to achieve.
In the first component, 66% of the investors were from the US, 17% from the United Kingdom, and 13% European investors. In the second component, 68% were from the US, 25% from the UK, and 3% were European investors.
And more recently, our European Union and World Bank partners have renewed their support for Kenya for the next 5 years with a total financial support amounting to about 500 billion Kenya shillings.
The money raised through the Eurobond will now go into funding various infrastructure development projects, as well as the repayment of a 52.5 billion shillings commercial loan that is due for repayment in August.
I want to assure you that the government will spend this money prudently.
But of greater interest is that the government is now set to lower its level of domestic borrowing in order to enable local financial institutions to lend more money and at lower rates.
The government will review downwards the domestic borrowing plans for the next financial year. This will significantly reduce domestic interest rates, which should boost investment, economic growth, and employment opportunities.
So the onus again is left on the government to ensure it delivers on the ambitious projects it promised to develop this country, and of course, most significantly, for Kenyans to feel its positive impacts. For Citizen Business Centre, I'm Hussein Mohamed in State House, Nairobi.